Are you aware that James Tiberius Kirk from Star Trek was actually based on a real character from history? He was based on James Tiberius Cook, the gentleman who discovered Australia. But he didn't discover Australia on purpose. Very much like Captain Kirk from Star Trek, Captain Cook was sent on a star voyage. He was supposed to go and track the transit of Venus as it happened across the face of the sun from Tahiti. When he got to Tahiti, the British government sent him sealed secret orders, and he had to go on a different mission. A mission to bravely go where no man had gone before. But like Captain Kirk from Star Trek, Captain Cook was a very noble, honourable man. He actually was part of a secret society that was helping to abolish slavery in England and establish the equality of women. The Admiral, who was the Earl of Sandwich, acquired some private funding for him to go on this scientific mission. The British government, not wanting to spend its own money, hijacked that mission and sent him on a journey of discovery, where he went and charted things that have never been charted before. Up the east coast of Australia, he circumnavigated Antarctica, he completely charted New Zealand's coastline and then made his way over to Hawaii. But what was this mysterious club that gave him funding and sent him on his way? It was the Hellfire Club, so named because they were upsetting society so much the church decided that if they wanted to abolish slavery, they would all go to hell. Given his background, and the background of the other people who signed on this voyage of discovery, including an artist who was a Quaker who believed in the equality of all mankind, but given his deeply held convictions, it's highly unlikely that Cook could be responsible for the colonialism that happened in the wake of his discoveries. In fact, his writings show that he did not want Australia to be colonised. However, there was a man with very different morals, a slaver who forced his way onto his ship. He was from the elite who looked down on Cook because he was a farmer's son. So let's have a look at this chapter in history, because it might not only change the way you think about Star Trek, it may also change the way that you think about Captain Cook, a man who was bravely sent where no British person had ever gone before.
Most people know Captain James Cook as the man credited with discovering Australia. But what if I told you the real story involves a secret society, astronomical missions, hidden royal orders, and a fight inside his own ship between human decency and colonial greed? Today, we uncover how the Earl of Sandwich, yes, the man behind the food, and the Hellfire Club shaped history. How Cook, a man often blamed for colonisation, actually opposed it, and how another man, Joseph Banks, set events in motion that Cook himself tried to prevent. In 1768, Admiral John Montagu, 4th Earl of Sandwich, organised one of the most extraordinary expeditions in history. He provided private funding, an old coal ship refitted into the HMB Endeavour, and rare, ancient Asian maps showing a vast, unknown southern continent. And the man he chose to lead it? James Tiberius Cook. But here's something history books rarely discuss. Cook and Sandwich knew each other through the Hellfire Club, a controversial group known for introducing Hindu spiritual ideas into England and advocating early women's rights. The Church of England condemned them so fiercely that the public nicknamed them the Hellfire Club. Yet behind this scandalous reputation, they were idealists, and they believed Cook could change the world peacefully. Cook was an explorer, mathematician, and cartographer, not a colonizer. In fact, the British government didn't want to pay for a peaceful voyage. To them, exploration only mattered if it brought profit or conquest. So Cook and Sandwich arranged private support, but the moment Cook reached Tahiti, everything changed. On the 13th of April, 1769, Cook opened secret sealed orders. Inside was a royal command: search for the great southern continent and claim it for King George. He didn't like the order, but he was a naval captain bound by duty. Joseph Banks, a wealthy aristocrat, insisted on joining the voyage, and from the start he looked down on Cook, just a farmer's son who had clawed his way into the Royal Navy. Banks created trouble everywhere he went, often escalating conflicts with Indigenous groups. Cook spent much of the voyage putting out fires Banks started. He even tried to seize command of the expedition unsuccessfully. When conflict turned deadly, Cook always attempted reconciliation. When Cook approached the east coast of Australia in April 1770, he recorded seeing people watching them from the shore. They appeared to be of a very dark or black colour, but whether this was the real colour of their skins or the clothes they have on, I know not. Cook didn't call the land empty. In fact, his journals prove the opposite. At Botany Bay, conflict broke out, sparked again by Banks, but Cook tried repeatedly to make peace. Parkinson, the Quaker artist aboard the boat, documented the people, their language, and their way of life with respect and precision. Cook wrote one of the most extraordinary descriptions of Indigenous Australians ever recorded by a European at the time. They may appear to some to be the most wretched people upon earth, but in reality they are far more happier than we Europeans. They live in a tranquility undisturbed by inequality. The earth and sea furnish them with all things necessary for life. They think themselves provided with all the necessities of life and have no superfluities. This is not the writing of a man seeking to invade or conquer. On June 10th, 1770, disaster struck. The Endeavour smashed into the Great Barrier Reef. Because here begun all our troubles. After desperate repairs, they spent 7 weeks at what is now Cooktown. Here, they attempted peaceful contact with the Gugu Yimathur people. An argument over turtles' sacred feast food led to conflict. Cook was devastated that he had to fire in self-defense, but what happened next is remarkable. We returned the darts we had taken from them, which reconciled everything. Several of them came to us afterwards and made peace. It was the first recorded reconciliation between Indigenous Australians and Europeans. After returning to England, Banks, not Cook, published an account promoting Botany Bay as perfect for colonisation. Cook never recommended it. In 1788, 17 years after Cook mapped the coast, the British arrived with 700 convict labourers. Banks advised the Crown that the land was empty. Terra Nullius, a devastating lie Cook never claimed. Cook had warned the opposite. The country itself doth not produce any one thing that can become an article in trade to invite Europeans to fix a settlement upon it. Cook died in Hawaii 10 years before colonisation began. Hawaiians honoured him with a king's burial proof of the respect he earned among Indigenous peoples he met. Cook circumnavigated Antarctica, mapped New Zealand, charted Australia's east coast, and he did it while trying to prevent violence, not cause it. Maybe history has blamed the wrong man. Maybe the true story lies not in conquest, but in the battle between Cook, the explorer, and Banks, the colonizer. The Hellfire Club, the Earl of Sandwich, secret orders, and a reluctant captain caught between science and empire. This is the story of how Australia was mapped and how the man we blame may not be the man responsible. History is complicated, heroes are flawed, and sometimes the villain is hiding in plain sight.
If you have enjoyed this information and you would like to take a deeper dive into some of the things that we've mentioned in this video, remember you can get my book, The Australian Indigenous Peoples, Magick, Etiquette, Dreaming, Bush Tucker. It's available at all good bookstores, and if you look online you can also find an ebook version. I'll put some links where you can buy these online in the pinned comments below. Until then, remember to